Hello and welcome to Let Me Ask My Sister, the podcast where we overthink life so you don't have to. We're your hosts, Sorcha and
Aoife. So pull up a seat, siblings, and let me ask you this.
Aoife, are you ready for your cultural roundup? And when I say culture, I obviously mean pop culture.
Yes, I am. Give it to me. Go.
Lovely. Okay. So at time of recording, last night was the Met Gala. So
Gala?
Gala. The Met Gala. One of the girls lives in Kimmage and she calls it Kimmage.
But that's on purpose.
Oh yeah. She's like, it's a rebrand. It's a rebrand. So the Met Gala, obviously really nicely timed with Devil Wears Prada too. Well, that was the movie's doing.
I think they did that on purpose.
Yeah, the Met Gala moved for the film. But the theme this year is costume art.
Ooh, okay, that's fun.
Yeah, I really, really liked it. I thought it was such an interesting theme to go into. When it was announced, it got a little bit of controversy because it's a bit of a challenge. You know, how do you... So the body is the canvas and the costume is the art. But obviously it's... Yeah, and it's going into costume design, which I really liked. Now, a lot of people are renaming it, I noticed this morning, as fashion is art. And I have an issue with this.
Okay. Wait, as a lot of people, as in who? As in publications?
As in people on the internet. Publications,
Okay.
people on the internet. They're like, oh, the theme is fashion as art or fashion is art.
Yeah.
And that is not the theme, in my opinion. I think that is a way of scapegoating around the theme.
Maybe that's how some people interpreted the theme.
It could be the interpretation. That is very fair. But the whole point of costume art is it's a costume, you know, and that's so that's leading in to that whole word itself as a costume. As you're putting something on, you're becoming someone else. You're becoming another character, be that either personality or like it's opposite to a uniform. All these words are different. So I think saying fashion is art is quite different. And if the theme was fashion is art, my toots and boots of the costumes would actually be different.
Okay.
So that's
interesting.
Yeah,
fair take. Fair notes ahead of the reveal.
Does anything spring to mind when you hear costume art?
Oh, I'm thinking like, would they do throwbacks to old films and like if Johnny Depp's there, imagining like Edward Scissorhands and kind of an artistic take on that or something. I don't know.
I love that interpretation. I think that's kind of where my brain would have gone as well. And then when I thought that, and this isn't a shade of you, it's a shade on me, because that was my interpretation. And then I thought, is that a bit basic? Is that why people who walked the red carpet or the Met Gala, whatever color the carpet was, yellow, the pavement, whatever, who are normally up there with best dressed, it wasn't the best dressed for me. And then I was like, is my interpretation different? But then again, this theme in particular got a little bit of heat because everyone was like, how are you meant to achieve this?
Okay.
I'm like, well, that's why you're a fashion designer, baby. Design some really cool stuff. So exactly, come and join us up here. So I had a load of costumes that I absolutely loved, and loads of the looks in the Met Gala were fabulous. Some honorable mentions. There's a woman called, I don't actually know a lot of these names. Is that bad? Should I not admit that?
No, don't admit that.
Okay,
you are our pop culture
guru.
Here you are filling me in.
Okay, well, Eileen Gu, who we all know and love, she wore this bubble dress, and it was like a tutu, and it omitted bubbles.
Oh, how cool.
I thought that was really cool. I loved that as a whole concept. I thought the dress was fabulous. Other honorable mentions that I did really like was Blake Lively. I think she always looks fab. The Kardashian family, I thought looked good. Now they're getting a lot of praise for being best dressed. Have to say, hard disagree. They were all within a very similar theme. Here's Kendall. So they kind of had this Greek draping over a structure of the human body. Okay. Kendall had like a bust kind of outline, and then Kylie and Kim had like a belly button, a sternum outline. So, but then I kind of draped with this kind of Greek fabric. So I did think it was a really interesting concept. I love how they went together as a family. Is it best
Yeah.
dressed? No, I don't think so.
Oh, I don't know. Kendall's dress there where you showed looked pretty fab. I mean, I haven't seen the rest.
Yeah, that's true. You haven't, which is why you're wrong. But
Also, do you think they've done well on the theme?
I think they've done a good job. But I think normally with the Met Gala, I'm so blown away by a lot of the
Yes,
costumes,
out
and I
there.
actually
Yeah.
didn't get that with this year at all. If anything, I thought a lot of the silhouettes that we're seeing is quite not to use the word basic, but it's what we're seeing in the high street. So a lot of the shapes, if you have a scroll through, you might notice them as similar to some of like the wedding dress silhouettes that I've been trying on. So that kind
Yeah.
of, and a lot of the popular bridesmaids or kind of ball gown dresses that are out there now for your regular Saturday night ball. But those
Yeah.
the structure, and it's the dropped waist and the the basque waistline, where it's like the little V. That's really popular in there. A lot of stuff that we've
Yeah.
seen already hit retail was on the red
Yeah.
carpet, and I would have thought that would have been the year before, not this year.
Usually, yeah, usually it goes the other way around. I will say, having looked through here, the men have done a really good job,
The
which
men
usually
have done a good job, some of them.
usually they don't feature at all in my head. I'm like, oh, how boring. Another suit.
Men who I think have done a really, really good job was Hudson from our hockey drama,
Yes.
Heated Rivalry.
Mhm.
Have you seen his look? I thought he was
I'm not sure
absolutely
which one.
fabulous.
Oh, he looks amazing. That's so cool.
He's wearing this blue suit with this kind of black cape that just comes from the waist, and then
It's like a fab train.
it's a really cool train, and then the jacket detail is kind of similar to a cards. I thought it had that kind
Okay.
of look, so I thought that was a really
Yeah.
interesting costume. Someone else who is top of my list, so another best dressed. I'm doing a really good job of keeping this in chronological order. Siblings, you are so welcome.
Uh-huh.
But Karan Johar, I actually don't know him, but he was wearing this
That is so cool.
tapestry
Yeah.
almost, and I thought that was absolutely stunning. Like that is
Yeah, that's class.
that is costume art. I thought
Yeah.
that is
That
leaning
is
into
art.
art. That is
Yeah.
art. That is full on art. I thought that was absolutely stunning. Someone else who I haven't seen on the best dress list who I thought deserved to be was Sarah Paulson from American Horror Story.
Okay. I
Do you know
don't
her?
know her. No.
So her look was this kind of grey tulle ball gown, and then she
Oh, cool.
had money over her face, so you couldn't see her face. And I
Oh.
thought that was so fascinating. So it's from a collection called the 1% Club. And
Uh-huh.
I thought her wearing it to the Met Gala was potentially a commentary on how, costume and art and theatre and all this sort of stuff is reliant on money. So
Yeah.
is her costume art, is it saying that it's money? Is that's what's being put forward as top tier rather than actual art,
Yeah.
actual costume art?
Interesting. Yeah.
Especially after seeing her not make any of these lists, and the people
Yeah.
who are the kind of celebs we know, like the Kardashians. Amanda Seyfried is up there on the list. Again, her dress I thought was beautiful, but it was again something that you could probably pick up on Opali at the moment. So it's like a
Okay.
drop waist bandeau and then a ball gown skirt from the bottom. Really gorgeous, super stunning. Is it costume art?
Yeah. I suppose like it's safe, right? Like,
It's safe. That's exactly what I thought. A lot of these people were dressing safe.
sorry, I've just seen. Is that Heidi Klum? Yeah.
So
See Heidi
Heidi
Klum?
Klum is on the top for me. What do you
Okay.
think? What do you think of
So-
Heidi Klum?
That's quite terrifying. Not gonna lie.
So if you haven't seen it, Heidi Klum is wearing, again, we see similar to the Kardashians, that kind of Greek draping, but it covers
Yeah.
her entire face. And then she has this crown. She does look like a statue. And
Yeah,
if
yeah.
you were thinking of a Greek play and there was going to be a Greek goddess, I think that is a fabulous depiction of that.
No, it's true. It seems that there is a lot of this like Grecian kind of style. I wonder that must be coming in for
Well,
next season.
as you showed me, the Chanel shoes.
Oh, sorry, the Chanel shoes. My God, the Chanel not shoes. Like,
Not, describe them if anyone hasn't seen them.
so they are. they're like a lace-up Grecian style sandal that like so it laces around your ankle, but the sandal only covers your heel. Like the comments on that were absolutely hilarious. It was like it's giving the Emperor's New Clothes. Like,
It is the design of it, like all the kind of leaf gold details that go up around the ankle.
yeah,
I was like, oh, that is what you think about, but like, there's no point. That like,
no, but like
it's not a shoe.
yeah, yeah. It's like then again, people are commenting about like wearing them in the subway in New York and like contracting hepatitis, etc. Just like
Oh, it's
it's
so
insane.
good. It's insane. Yeah.
Yeah,
And yeah, obviously we saw Chanel come out with that, and then a lot of this Grecian theme at the
yeah,
Met Gala. Maybe that's what we are to expect in a year or two. Let's
yeah.
get ready for summer 2027, dressed like
Hey,
Grecian gods.
I'm into it. I'm into a bit of a Grecian drapery, but like full sandal, please.
You kind of give a bit of a Greek theme to me.
Yeah.
I feel like a sheet would really suit you.
I'm going to take that as a compliment.
Like a off the shoulder kind of asymmetrical look.
Ah,
Yeah, I'm into it.
yeah.
Another one who is best dressed kind of all over the internet, and I can't make my mind up if I agree or not,
Yeah.
is Beyonce.
Oh, I think that's really cool.
So she's wearing kind of a skeleton outline, and then she
Yeah.
has these big feather wings. So it is obviously, maybe very ethereal.
I think it's really cool.
It's a really, really cool look. And I think that is kind of the level that we expect from the Met Gala, is that really big, like big costumes, especially costume art. That is, I do, why, while it didn't necessarily appeal to me as a look, you cannot deny that it is costume art. It is hitting the nail on the head there, and she looks fantastic, as did her daughter.
Yeah.
Blue Ivy, I think, looked really cool.
Yeah, just looking at a picture of Beyonce at the moment, I think it's amazing. It's such a cool outfit. And like you're saying about the Met Gala, like it's, to me, to my like head in the sand kind of take on pop culture. But to me, it's like that's the red carpet that they really push the boat. And they go
Yeah.
for these mental looks. So yeah, I think that is incredible. And it looks like a costume. Like that looks like a costume that Beyonce would wear on tour.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, definitely gave that. I think it was
Yeah.
within her repertoire of what she normally wears. I just thought that
Yeah.
was really fabulous.
Yeah.
And I think that hit the nail on the head. Another one of that kind of similar vein was Madonna.
Whoa.
Yeah. So Madonna had this whole pirate thing going on. She had a pirate ship on her head, dressed kind of all in black, very witch meets Jack Sparrow. Is that his name? Jack
Yeah.
Sparrow? No, it's not. Is it Sparrow?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Johnny Depp from I was gonna say Lord of the
Pirates of the
Rings.
Caribbean. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they had these kind of grey sheets coming, like tulle sheets coming as waves. So again, I thought that was costume art. I thought it was fitting. She
Yeah.
looked, again, terrifying.
These 6 women that are with her, carrying these chill sheets as waves, are they part of her costume? What's the deal?
I would imagine yes, because what they're wearing is it's all the same silhouette with different
Yeah.
lace patterns, and the colors are slightly different as well, all complementing Madonna's outfit.
That's so mental to bring people as part of your costume is a bit of a is giving me some sort of bit of a question mark on how I feel about it. But I mean, in terms of pushing the boat and it being so different, where else are you going to wear that outfit? You know?
And who else but Madonna to have
Yeah.
people as a part of her costume?
Yeah. And like you're saying, like all these other people having kind of similar looks to the high street or what you've seen in bridal outlets, etc. This is not that.
No, this is like Beyonce's. This is a step ahead. I thought that was
Yeah.
art. That was costume art.
Yeah. Yeah, indeed. Indeed.
I thought that was costume art. And then 2 quick ones on the highlights for me. A knock, I thought, and I actually don't know who this woman is, but I'm now obsessed with her. So her silhouette, I'm kind of contradicting myself a small bit here, but I think she does this fabulous job of wearing that look that again was so popular at the Met Gala. So again, she had this bandeau top, dropped waist, ball gown skirt, so very similar to Amanda Seyfried, except she paired it with these gloves and this hood, and then her body was painted gold, and it had all this, oh, the depth, oh, stunning.
Yeah. I was gonna say it's her makeup and her body makeup that's really leveling it up
Yeah.
because looking at it, like the dress itself looks a bit basic, but
So it's
her
this,
hair, like her hair and
she has these gold tears coming from her eyes. Like everything about it is, she's
yeah.
dripping in opulence, and but she's sad. Like she's dripping, even like her skin is dripping, her eyes are tearing. So again, it's giving that costume art level that we
Yeah.
really, really adore. And then another last honorable mention is kind of a nod to what you said that you would expect, you know, maybe going like a costume from back in the day and leveling it up. I thought that's what Audrey Nuna did. It was very much giving 101 Dalmatians. So this is her.
Shall we? Oh my God, yeah. Well, I think Madonna's outfit was that, like,
That,
was
yeah,
that costume from back in the day, but like
but leveled
bringing it to
up.
the red carpet.
Yeah.
But yes, it's Cruella de Vil.
Yeah, Cruella de Vil has
100%.
got her. She's finally got her spotted puppies, and I just think she's serving in it. It looks fabulous.
Yeah.
So I was really really impressed with it. Now, so toots across the board.
Toot, toot, toot. Can we just say how cool Somber looks?
Somber again, yes, another honorable mention. I thought he was really cool, as was Bad Bunny. Bad Bunny had this old makeup on, which I thought was really cool.
Oh my God, Bad Bunny. That is so.
It kind of freaked me out.
Yeah.
He had this old makeup on and this very like suit. Again, it was costume art, you could say. He was dressing as someone else and he looked good. Whereas a lot of lads just tend to wear a tux and they're like, "Oh, I'm going to Met Gala." Like, you look shit.
Yeah, he's wearing a costume and like a dapper suit with a big old bow at the front. Makes you think, I suppose,
It
which
makes
is what art.
It makes you think. It absolutely does. So I do think a lot of them, again, there's so many more that we could go through, but those were some of the tops for me.
Let's hear your
Which
worst.
brings us down to the bottom. We won't go into this too much because we don't like to drag people down. A lot of them, I'm like, not even going to bother to mention a lot of the lads. Like, as
Could
in,
do a whole thing on worst dressed.
well, a lot of them, a lot of them weren't bad. I thought they were basic. So again, I'm going to throw Amanda Seyfried in here. She looked gorgeous, but I don't think it fit the theme. So the two people I've chosen as my worst is, and I'm sorry, girlies. Okay, my reason for picking these as the worst dressed is I think they really tried to hit the theme, but the look,
The mist.
yeah, it just doesn't look good. My first one is Rachel Sennett. So Rachel Sennett is wearing a black dress that you probably would wear to your uni college ball. It has a bit of a train and a purple circle at the end of the train. The dress has a slit and she's a pink tight on her leg and she's sticking the leg out. And then she also has a blue circle as a little placeholder. So it's giving Picasso,
The placeholder.
kind of.
Like, what's the placeholder?
I think because it's art. I think she's trying to be
You know what?
art. But I could make this. I could wear this to Halloween. And if I could make it, it shouldn't be on the Met Gala.
Do you know, it looks like the little circle that you click to magazines would have like a little circle around something being like, oh look, this is her waist with a little lump of fat or whatever.
Oh,
That's what that circle
okay.
looks like.
I know. But do you see what she was going for?
I don't
With the
really see
art.
what she was going for, to be honest. I think sorry, you're saying about like Picasso.
Yeah, of the whole
What do you
kind of
kind of see that?
cubism. Is that what it's called? Cubism?
I don't know. I don't know these things, but I do know that I don't like that dress at all. And if I was her, I'd be really sad walking down the red carpet wearing that. Like, I know you just said we don't like to drag people, and this is not dragging her; it is dragging Marc Jacobs. Like,
Exactly.
dresser.
It's Mark. Yeah, exactly.
yeah,
And then we also have my second of the list, and that is Odyssey Azeon. Again, someone I'm not necessarily familiar with.
I kind of like this one.
You do?
Yeah, I think
Oh,
it's quite cool.
I think it tried to be this again. To me, this is saying I go to art college. And I'm at a Halloween party and I'm going to show you that, look how good I am. And if you came to that at a Halloween party that I threw, I would say, you look amazing. But I think the fit, I think the fit of this, so basically she's wearing this, for our siblings who are listening and not looking at our YouTube or our social channels, which we can see all of this on, but she has this kind of corset that goes below the bust, and then it goes, this peplum kind of corset, thigh-high boots, and then this kind of flower tapestry covering her breasts down her arms, and then this cape. I really love the cape. I think the corset is a bit basic, and I don't like I love the flower tapestries, but where it's lifting, it doesn't feel intentional. I think it feels like they couldn't glue it down.
Oh, no, I can't. That's not that's not my interpretation.
Okay.
I I don't know. I imagine that it's supposed to look a bit like 3D or whatever with the flowers, like that they're not all perfectly stuck on. I see what you mean. Maybe the corset is a bit basic, but like it's not covering her boobs at all, which makes it all interesting. Um, the boots are class. The cape is fun.
The cape is fun.
I
I'll
think
give the cape.
yeah, I think the fact that we don't know her makes it less cool. I imagine if this was on like Rihanna, you'd be like, holy shit, that's so fucking cool.
You know what? That's actually a good point because Sabrina Carpenter's look, I think, probably does deserve a mention. She was
Yeah.
dressed in film from like the like actual real film from
Ah,
the movie Sabrina, and it was
oh, that's
this
so
halter neck
cool.
top, and then it kind of came down to this. Like it was tied in a bow, and again, I was like, I love the top. I thought it was really cool. The
Yeah.
bottom half, I was like, maybe could have been a little bit more, but I loved it probably because it's Sabrina, and I know who Sabrina is.
100% like that. Okay, so I didn't realize that the film is from the film Sabrina. That's
Yes,
like again, like
another
10
layer.
million times cooler already. She looks deadly as well. Like she looks very 1920s. Because I flicked past that, was like, oh, didn't like give it a second look. But it was only when you said that it's
It's actually made of
film.
film. Yeah,
Yeah.
the dress is made of film, and I do think that's what makes it art. Whereas
Yeah.
beforehand, you would think, oh, it looks cool, but I think yeah, and it's taken from the film Sabrina. So I do think that is a really really fabulous costume from her.
Yeah.
And sorry, I actually totally forgot to say that Emma Chamberlain's costume was my absolute winner. I just thought that was beautiful. I thought that was fashion. I thought it was costume art. I thought
That's
it
so
was
cool.
beautiful. It was like she was wearing a painting.
Yeah.
And the way so it's a kind of a mermaid cut dress if you haven't seen it, but it basically looks like splashes of paint and almost looks like it's moving the way it's
Yeah.
it's layered. So again, to show that you can do a gorgeous dress if the
Yeah, true.
design is there. So again, no
Yeah.
shade on Amanda Seyfried, but but it is that kind of you see that difference.
They called it the living canvas look. So she has these like threads coming down from her hands, and it looks like it's melting. It looks like she's been painted, and it's all like not melting, dripping off
Dripping
her
off
and dripping down.
if you got like a blow dryer. If there's a blow dryer,
Yeah.
if it was a windy day, that looks how it's kind of coming off.
Yeah, yeah.
So the designer was a woman named Anna Delarue who hand painted the dress.
Wow.
And you can tell because it is just
Yeah.
so stunning. And that is costume art.
Yeah, that's very cute, very cool.
So that is my Met Gala roundup. I think it was a very hard theme to maybe commit to. And that's why we didn't see as big of a look that we regularly see from the yellow carpet, whatever it's called, from the steps of the Met. However, we got some really stunning looks.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't know that they call it the yellow carpet. I always thought they just
I
referred to it
don't
as the red carpet
I
always.
don't know if they do call it the yellow carpet. I don't think it, but the steps are kind of this greeny yellow this year. Someone who
That's
looked
cool.
fabulous that again I thought was just a little bit too was more fashion is art was Anne Hathaway, who also starred in The Devil Wears Prada too, which kind of
Yeah.
brings us on to our second topic of our cultural wrap up, which is
You
Devil Wears
saw
Prada
it.
too.
Yes. I need to know. Was it good?
I really loved it.
Did you? Okay.
It was everything I wanted it to be.
Oh, fab. I don't know if I want to know too much about it, and I obviously don't want to give any spoilers to our listeners. But I watched the first one in anticipation for the second one because honestly, I don't know when last time I watched The Devil Wears Prada was. Like I couldn't remember
Fair.
it.
Old.
Yeah. Did you rewatch the first one at all?
I didn't actually, but
Ah,
I saw it about a year ago, and I also went to see
okay.
the West End production, so
Oh,
the
okay. Yeah,
story
yeah,
was
yeah.
fresh.
Yeah, you're familiar.
What did you think rewatching it now? The first time.
Honestly, okay, well, look, I knew that it was 2006 and it's such a time capsule of looking back and going, okay, like being a size zero was such a focal point of it. Um, it is such a point in time. So yeah, anyway, I'm interested to see how that plays out in this one. Because we are having a resurgence of size zero culture right
Yeah,
now.
we are.
Um, but also that the fashion was so 2006. Like it's the type of fashion that we rip the piss out of at the moment, you know, like the like silly the really long necklaces and the big old belts and the
Yeah.
yeah, it was just and like the heavy eyeliner. Um
The heavy eyeliner, yes.
yeah. Like the juxtaposition, so when she quits at the end of the Devil, so this is the Devil Wears Prada one. I don't think I'm not going to give a spoiler alert for this because if you
If
haven't
you
watched it,
haven't
that's on
seen
you.
it, it's 20 years old.
Yeah, yeah. So at the end, you know, when she quits, and then so she looks like herself again, and like she's just like it. She's this just the same, just without all the eyeliner.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah. Well, because she learned
Yeah,
something from her time
yeah.
at Runway
Well,
magazine.
to be honest, like so Owen and I watched it together. We were like, "What was that film about?" You know, there wasn't a great ending.
Oh,
Like
really?
it was
Okay, maybe you won't look. I thought my takeaway from The Devil Wears Prada is that it's about someone who is trying to, early 20s, trying to make it in something. This is the opportunity she gets, how to make the best of it in an industry that is notoriously quite difficult and very demanding.
Mm.
Obviously, it's allegedly. I think it's a pretty known fact though that it is based off of Anna Wintour.
Well, no, it
It,
absolutely is.
it, it
So
absolutely is, right?
the author of the book was an assistant in Vogue.
Yeah.
Was Anna Wintour's
Was
assistant
yeah. So it is the
for a
story.
short period.
We're
So
allowed
and
to
then
say
she
that.
wrote this fictional book.
Yeah, which is
Yeah.
very much real.
Mm.
So I thought the whole story was how to, how you bargain with your morals versus the real world, and the world
Yeah.
and what the world is. I didn't,
Yeah.
but and another lesson from the story that I didn't like. Well, so there's two other things. Obviously, being a size zero was so important.
Yeah.
And I think the lessons of how important a man was very much a thing
Oh
in
yeah.
in Devil Wears Prada 1. And I obviously won't give any spoilers into Devil Wears Prada 2, but I think those are things that they kind of corrected really interestingly. So
Oh, interesting.
the premise of Devil Wears Prada 2 is it's obviously years later. Andy is back at Runway for a reason I won't give away because it's a fun part of the
Okay.
film. And obviously it's figuring out how she fits into this world now. Obviously there's a little bit of jeopardy in there. Things are changing and how they'll go about to fix it. So if you didn't think there was a lot of plot to the first one, I
Yeah.
don't think you'll think there's a lot of plot to the second one.
Yeah.
But I really enjoyed the plot as a whole. I
Okay.
thought it was really good.
Because I think the plot to the first. Okay, so unpopular opinion. I think that it just doesn't really have a whole lot of substance. Um, but
Disagree.
but I think the overarching plot was that the editor of Runway's a bitch and like really difficult to work with. And I feel like that's maybe what her whole point was just showing how difficult and like completely unrealistic she was with her expectations and her asks.
That is definitely carried into the second
Yeah.
film. So it's highlighting more so rather than like, oh, look at this. So okay. And that kind of ties into the man element of it. So in the
Okay.
first one, they make this comment of Miranda, can't keep a husband, it's another divorce again.
Yeah.
And then in the second one, her relationship is quite different. It's a man who has his own life going on, and they seem to have a really lovely relationship. But
Hmm.
there's never an ask of you need to put your career second to mine. It's a thing of this is a woman, and this is so evident throughout the entire film. This is a woman who is known by everyone. She is so powerful. She has sacrificed nearly everything, and that is very clear is that she loves what she does, but you had to give up a lot to get there. And if that's the level of success you want in your career and in your life, there's so many sacrifices that come along with it. And just showing how kind of cutthroat she had to be and how long she's been in the industry of a woman at the top and how rare that is and unexpected. And I thought, remind me of something that Lisa Kudrow said recently in an interview about rewatching Friends. Have you seen this?
Oh, no. Interesting.
So she's rewatching Friends and she says like it's the first time she's seen it like
mental.
they watched them together and then she hasn't seen it since. So
They watched them together.
apparently they watched every episode together as a cast.
Oh, that's really cute.
Not adorable.
So yeah.
But they haven't, she said she hasn't watched it since, but she's watching it now. And if you asked her back in the day who her favorite character was, she always would have said Ross. She loved Ross. He was such a good guy, favorite person ever. Now she's rewatching it and she's like, he is an asshole. Like he's just not a good guy at all. And she references, you know, the episode where Rachel is working late on their anniversary and Ross comes in with a quartet and like loads of like just love bombs her with all these gifts, and then
he's jealous of Mark.
Because he's jealous of Mark and jealous that she has a career, I think, as well as the thing that his career. Oh, I'll get to that in a sec. But tries to bring in the dinner, and then they and have dinner together at the office, and then they get in a big fight, and then Ross thinks that she should apologize to him, and I think that's kind of what leads to them having a break. So that's the little episode if you haven't seen it. And if you haven't seen Friends, what are you doing, my friend?
Again,
but
over 20 years old now.
Exactly. But Lisa Kudrow said, watching that back, you're so angry. Why would this person come in? She is allowed, if she is working late, she's working late for a minimum amount of time. Sure, your dinner is going to be pushed back, but she'll come home. The way he behaved is unacceptable. But at the time you accepted it because a woman's career always comes second to the man's. And that was just what was the done thing, and everyone just accepted it. And now you're looking at that and you're saying that's not okay. And I think that's what they've done with the Devil Wears Prada too, is Miranda's career with all of the other people she was with. Of course it didn't last because they just expected her to fall in line and she never did.
I mean, I don't see how you could ever expect her to fall in line when she's the editor of Runway or Vogue, whatever you want to call it. Like, you know, like watching it back, there's one scene that really frustrated me. It's when Andy's dad, so Anne Hathaway's character, her dad comes to visit and they're out for dinner and she gets a call from Miranda that's her name, isn't it? Miranda?
Yeah.
Yeah. To help her get home because she's in Miami and she needs to be flown home and there's a hurricane and she can't get out. And the dad is so not understanding. He's really pissed off that she's on the phone the whole time. And he's like, you're doing this job for horrible pay. Look, yes. Okay. She isn't being treated well at work and she's not being paid properly. And that's bad. And like everyone should be treated better, etc. But the fact that people in her life aren't recognizing who she's working for really frustrated me. It's like, as a parent, like if your child is working for, you know, someone massively successful, the editor of Vogue, they're their assistant, and my kid's telling me I'm going to do it for 1 year. It's going to be horrible, but I'm just going to do it for 1 year because I can get so many brilliant connections from this. I'm like, do it. Cool. I will sit here I don't care if I'm sitting at this dinner table until the restaurant closes. You sit there, don't stress. I'll order you food. We'll sit here, we'll get drinks. I can just chill. Like, it's fine. Like, you know, like be a bit more supportive. Don't have her traipsing around New York. On the phone, she's there like stressing out, trying to cross the road in like a busy New York. It's absolutely ridiculous. That really pissed me off.
Fair. And that's probably watching it in hindsight, well, as a parent, but then also if that was a very successful man, would the father have questioned the character? Would you be like, oh, well, this is what he needs? Whereas it's this woman and this woman has gone mental. So I think there's a lot of that in it, which I think they kind of make up for a small bit in the second one. And one thing they say, which I really love, is at the end of the first one of Devil Wears Prada 1, Andy gets back with the boyfriend because, again, his career is more important. In the first one, he doesn't understand what she's doing. He hasn't read her pieces that she's written. Like he's not supportive of her whatsoever. And then she's not with him. That's not really a spoiler. Andy's character hasn't settled down with him. She's moved on. And there's a love interest in the film. And he happens to mention that he read one of her pieces. And she makes this comment of, oh, wow, like that's really like lovely. People I've been in long-term relationships with have never even read my pieces. And the guy on the date just goes, that's awful. That's really horrible. And she's like, yeah, no, it actually is. And it's just a really subtle way of correcting the first film's not necessarily mistakes, but of showing at the time of how kind of women were treated at the time.
Yeah. I will say though, okay, because I remember at the time, like, I think we were all supposed to hate him, the boyfriend character. Yeah. I don't think, like, he wasn't a hero, certainly. But then again, she gets back with him at the end. So, but I do remember him being hated. Like, definitely he wasn't a popular character. I will say though, like, again, okay, he's being unsupportive because he's not supporting the fact that she said she's just going to do it for a year. And would everyone just chill their pants and let her just do this job that she is very aware is sucking up her social life? But she's young. Like, she has, anyway. And also, like, it is giving her loads of really cool opportunities and, like, really fun opportunities as well. The scene with the birthday when like, she gets to go to this benefit, she should just go and enjoy the benefit. And I think most partners would be like, just go to the benefit, it's okay, we'll do something for my birthday next week or whatever. And the fact, so she calls her friend to let the friend know that she's not going to be able to be there, and the friend gives her some shit. She's like, it's his birthday. And then she's like, do you know what? Yeah, whatever. You'll arrive when you arrive. Like, come on. Any friend would be like, cool, you get to go to this unbelievable benefit. Like, don't worry about the birthday. And then would do the work for you at the birthday. If your boyfriend's a little bit salty that you're not there, it would be like, it's one evening and she's doing this job for 1 year. Remember, la 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 la. I think most people, no matter what year it was, would have kind of behaved that way. So anyway, I do agree that he's not very supportive from that fact, but I also think that he's living with her and he's seeing, like, how horrendously she's being treated. Like, she's doing her daughter's science project in the evening, like that kind of bullshit, you know. Like, can you imagine if Tim was doing,
I know, you would be like, why are you putting up with this? But as you said, if they said, I'm doing it for a year, you would just support them through it and be like, listen, you're nearly there. And you'd expect less of them for that year. And obviously that's going to a whole other thing of the first film.
But also a year's a long time. That, like, it's easy to forget. And you're not going to not have these fights. Like, you are going to have these fights.
Yeah, exactly. But I think they did a nice job of correcting that. And what you said at the start of how size 0 is such a thing, there's obviously a couple of nods to that. One thing in particular I remember in the first film is Emily Blunt's character, who, oh my God, she just did such a stellar performance. She is so fabulous.
Really?
I think, obviously Meryl Streep, it goes without saying, is a standout. Just watching her do anything is just, she's so in it. She's so fantastic. But Emily Blunt is equally just as brilliant. Really, really fabulous actor. Right. But she, in the first film, is trying to go on this diet and she doesn't eat anything. And when she feels faint, she'll eat a cube of cheese. It's obviously funny to say in retrospect, but at the time, I remember girls in my year doing that diet.
After the actual cube of cheese diet.
Yeah.
And then, like, but I think it is kind of a joke in the first movie as well. Like, she says, like, I'm one stomach bug away from my goal weight. Yeah. Like, you know, like that they are making a joke out of it in the film in 2006. Like, they were.
Yeah, they are. But it's still the time that it was in, it still did resonate with people in a poor way. Whereas I think they've done a good job of this one of not leaning into that too much. Like, there is a couple of comments of, you know, as you said, we are coming back around to that heroin chic look, and Miranda, Meryl Streep's character, does kind of make a small comment of like, the film doesn't let her go into the spiel, but she is kind of questioning, why do we have body positive models when she basically say, well, but the look, it changes the look. She's obviously about to go into how we want really rake thin models. So I thought that was interesting to say, oh, this is what fashion is kind of after. It was recognizing that.
Like, I do think, okay, well, that's interesting. And I will have to catch up with you on it after I watch it on May 21st, because that's when we've booked it for.
That's so far away.
I know.
You big cuties. Is it with the girls?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's really nice.
Yeah.
But one thing, and this isn't, again, a spoiler, but another thing with Emily's character, I think they did a really lovely job of moving her along from that point in her life when it comes to
Oh
eating.
yeah.
She makes a couple of comments about how, models are sample size, but real role models aren't. And then there's something where they're eating food, and she makes a comment of, it's fine. I just got an appetizer, and she's like, carbs, when you share them, they don't, like, those calories don't count. And she's like happily eating and happily joking. Obviously, this is still a part of her world, and her figure probably means a lot for the fashion industry, but she's moved on from it, and I think that was a lovely way of showing that in the second
Okay.
film.
Oh, cool.
But yeah, and the whole thing, obviously it looked fabulous. It made me want to be I was like, I want to get a sewing machine now and make all these outfits, or become, this podcast lives up enough that we get them for free. But
Yeah, that'd be
the outfits were amazing. It was really, really cool. And yeah, I loved it. I would recommend The Devil Wears Prada too.
Oh wow, I can't wait to see it. Even though I was like underwhelmed by the first one when I rewatched it. But I do remember watching the first one like a number of times back in the day and loving it. So yeah, I'm very excited to see the second one.
It's 11/11. Make a wish.
Whee!
Oh, you keep your eyes open when you make your 11/11 wish.
Yeah, you close your eyes.
I close my eyes, yeah.
Interesting. I don't really love to close my eyes. I realize I'm not in public right now, but I don't really like to close my eyes in public. I just find it a bit
Wait, in case
disconcerting.
someone's going to get you?
Yes, in case someone's gonna get me.
So do you what about when you blink? Is that okay? Or is there a half a millisecond of
Blinking, sneezing, all allowed. It's kind of the more lengthy closing eyes, like when you're in shavasana, etc. And we'll have soft eyes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What about when you play hide and seek? Do you not close your eyes? Do you cheat?
When am I playing hide and seek in public?
At the playground with your kids?
I don't tend to close my eyes when I play hide and seek.
Cheater.
Oh, sorry. When you're seeking, I thought you meant when you're hiding.
No. Well, that would be a bad idea. That's blinds man buff.
Yeah.
We know Aoife's a cheat. And then lastly, the thing very quickly, because I know this podcast is a longer, or have I cut half of it back? But the Traitors Celeb season 2 lineup has been announced.
Because you told me you were going to tell me this, and I'm actually buzzing. Go on. Who is it?
Okay. Well, first and foremost, I would like to say I called it. I knew it. I absolutely bloody did. And you know how? Because both Rob Beckett and Joanne McNally are on Celeb Traitors season 2.
Oh, they are. Yeah, because you did. These are our two predictions. Yeah.
These are two predictions. And you know why? Because both of them, I thought this was so stupid. And I was going to comment on their podcast on Spotify, but then I didn't for some reason, and I really bloody regret it. But both of them the same week were like, oh, I'm away doing filming for these 2 weeks. I'm not going to be able to really see anyone, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay, well, we know that Celeb Traitors is being filmed around now. We also know that you have to go away for 2 weeks and you have like very limited contact with your family. Obviously, regular Joes, the likes of you and me, we would get no contact, but celebs get to have little bits of contact. So there was a thing there, and obviously Rob Beckett was talking about it from the sense of he can't see his kids and how that was a huge thing. And then Joanne McNally was talking about it as well, so they couldn't do the pod. And I was like, obviously it's the Celeb Traitors. But they are confirmed, which I'm very excited to see.
That's cool. Yeah, I'm very excited to see them. I'm going to have to watch this one.
Yes, you absolutely will, because another one who's going to be on it is James Acaster.
Oh, cool.
That would be absolutely fabulous, as is Joe Lycett.
Okay, amazing.
Really, really good. We also have people like Leanne Pinnock, who is from, she's now her own solo artist, but she's from Little Mix. We have Maya Jama's in there. Miranda Hart. Do you remember Miranda?
Oh my God, yeah, comedian.
Yeah.
You loved her.
I loved Miranda. It was so good. Ramesh Ranganathan, isn't it?
Oh, deadly. There's so many comedians.
About time he's getting some TV work as well. We also have the likes of, who are they? Michael Sheen.
Michael Sheen.
You know Michael Sheen? He's in loads of stuff.
Hang on, I'm good. Oh, I think he's the angry looking guy. Oh, he isn't angry looking, no. Oh, yeah.
So Michael
know him.
Sheen's in it. So it's going to be a really, really good lineup. I will say this: Celeb Traitors is the place to be. This is not a lineup you would get on any other celeb reality TV show. There is very limited reality stars on this. These are all professional
Yes.
working artists.
Yeah.
And I think that is, it just goes to show
How
how
popular.
popular the
Yeah.
Traitors is. And also I think it goes to show of the direction we're maybe going in with reality TV. We're not necessarily in the thing of Big Brother and Celeb Big Brother, which obviously there was loads of other pop culture bits about that, which we won't bother getting into because we're at the end of the pod. But kind of where you put yourself out there and maybe embarrass yourself, whereas this is a different vibe and it's people acting like people rather than drama, which I think is really interesting because obviously all the celebs are doing it and it's going to be really good.
Uh-huh. Interesting, interesting. Speaking of the traders, I was listening to, coming up now. I was watching Running Point. Have you seen that on Netflix?
Mm.
Yeah.
I haven't seen season 2 yet.
So we watched season 2. I remember anyway,
This
so
is
sorry,
this is the one with Kate Hudson, and
Kate
it's about
Hudson.
her family's basketball team.
Yeah, exactly. And Justin Theroux plays her brother. There's so many pop culture references throughout it, but at one point the brothers like finds out that they watched The Traders. So like, I can't believe you guys all watched The Traders and you don't talk to me about it.
Oh my
Funny little
god.
reference.
It
Yeah.
is oh my god, the person that came up with that format is just
Uh-huh.
the geese who laid the golden egg right there, making absolute fortunes from that idea. So listen, if you have a format idea, hit me up. Um, but that is your kind of cultural roundup for you in this
There
last
you
week.
go.
I was going to call you Aoifekins. Am I allowed to call you Aoifekins on the
Oh,
podcast?
that's so cute. Nobody calls me Evekins anymore. Yes, you can.
Aoifekins. Well, that is
Practicing.
your cultural roundup, Aoifekins. But is there anything else that you would like to add?
Anything else I would like to add? No, I have no. Well, what I'm seeing all over my feed at the moment is honestly lots of stuff about women in the workplace. And actually, because I went to a networking event there last week, which is great. Like it was a
Mm.
really lovely networking event. It always is. But there's a few references across the evening from the women who were speaking, just that kind of brought me back. Okay, so sorry, just to explain a bit more about what's going on in my head. So a lot of the things that I'm seeing at the moment on my feed is all about Emma Grede, because her book is coming out, and so she talks a lot about how. There's one piece that keeps being discussed is how she's saying that if you want to be promoted, you cannot work from home, and work from home culture is destroying women's career progression. And there's a million. What did you just go?
Yep, I did.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much to unpack there and so much to discuss, which we do not have time for right now.
That
But
could be a whole episode though, because I
well,
obviously know the comments that were made at the talk.
yeah, so
There's a lot to go into.
I'll leave you with this one because I mentioned it. I had the girls over on Saturday night for book club, and I told them this one comment. And anyway, we got the reaction was like just as horrified as I was. So this
Yeah.
one woman who is the SVP of HR of a big giant company, she
Big.
she made a comment saying about how people dress and how it's changed over the years and changed a lot recently. But she made a comment that women still have to be very careful about how they dress and not to dress too distractingly. And she made it clear that she meant don't show your boobs. Because she said, and we all know what I mean when I say dressing distractingly, because when people are talking to you, they won't be looking up here, they will be looking down there, pointing to her eyes, won't be looking at your eyes, pointing to her boobs, they'll be looking down there. And honestly, this made me want to. Oh, I cringed. I actually I was like, oh God. Like, I don't know how the three other women who were on the stage at that time didn't like want to just like, crawl into their jumpers and just hide because it was,
He's gonna throw a chair.
yeah,
What
like,
the fuck type of comment?
I
And like,
know.
God, I know we're gonna do a whole other episode about this, and it's gonna be so good. But
Yeah.
that boiled my blood, and I can't imagine. I've told some men that comment, and all of them are like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
if
'cause
men think it's bad.
yeah. So I knew, yeah, well, when men think it's bad, it's bad. Like, I was a bit like, oh, am I maybe being a bit, am I out of the loop a lot? Like, I haven't worked in an office in a few years, so maybe I'm wrong. Like, maybe women do need to be careful not to show their boobs in the office. Like, you know what I mean? And then anyway, so I said it to a group of girls who all have a variety of different careers in the room, and every single woman was just like, oh my God, I cannot believe she said that. Like, that is shocking. And the fact that that is the SVP of HR just shows you that the human resources aren't looking out for the humans.
Nope. I have so many thoughts on this that I really want to say, but I will keep them.
But we've been chatting for too long. We'll do a full one.
Don't worry, siblings, we'll come back. But okay, well, I'll call you back now.
Yes, do. Okay. Let's
Okay,
chat.
love you. Bye.
Love you. Bye.